I guess I'm first, right? Alright, so it is time for What You Gonna Do, Girl? What You Gonna Do?
What you gonna do, girl?
See the black girl about you.
And for this episode, I would like to center it on our good friend, Frankie Grande. What you gonna do, Frankie? What you gonna do? Frankie, you are the HOH. First week of a big season. This twist is huge. And as HOH, you are in a lot more danger than you originally planned. Here's what you need to do. Calm down. Stop telling everybody in your little Crazy Eights Alliance that you're super paranoid and you guys gotta stick together no matter what. Stop trying to grab half or a third of the house or 3/4 of the house into an alliance. You're picking out people for final twos. You want to work with Caleb. You want to work with everyone in the original 8. Like, come on, slow your roll. If your nominees do not stick, you are going to be in a bad position. And if you rub Caleb the wrong way, you might find yourself on the block. And if also your relationship with Ariana Grande is outed, you could be in a very bad position. My friend, you need to lay low. Get a feel with the house guys. See who's rubbing people the wrong way and plan accordingly. And I promise you, you will get out of this week just fine. And that, Frankie, is what you should do.
I also think you should probably, pray with Jocasta.
Yeah, get a little Jesus on yourself.
And remember to say Jesus 38 times, because Jocasta said it only 37. And that's exactly why, because Jesus does not come until you say his name 38 times.
What was that last time? I didn't hear that last one.
I missed that last Jesus. Say my name.
That's how you get the diamond power of veto. He'll come down and just place it around your neck.
Woke up like this. All right, so my little segment is called Your Daughter and Your Mama.
And your daughter and your mother are too. Your daughter and your mother. Your daughter and your mother.
And it's where I attack somebody. And today's victim is going to be Caleb. And it's probably pretty obvious why it's Caleb. I don't know where to start. I mean, you can come in here, he's a good-looking guy. I feel like he could be on a Cody level, a Devin level, with, he's the one that has the cowboy hat. I mean, just put the cowboy hat on, and Papa will spread her legs open like she has for everybody else. But instead, he got his hood up, looking and staring at everybody, talking about, I'm a really protective person. I'm so arrogant, egotistical, and I'm really good at competitions. I don't throw competitions, which is not a bad thing. I don't think it's bad that he wants to he won't throw competitions. But I mean, you don't even know Pow Pow. She's already after you. You don't even know. She's already after you. You don't know. I feel like if you're going to be that kind of a tough and aggressive character, you should have something to back it, somebody to help you back it up. I mean, you can't win HOH every week, and you might even lose HOH when you win it. So, calm it down. And you don't need to be showing off how strong you are, especially in the first HOH competition. Yeah, you won it, but that's people were laughing and joking, and oh yeah, it's cute and he's so funny, but really, they're gonna remember that next week. They're going to remember it, and you're not going to be able to be eligible for HOH if you still have it by the end of the week. Whatever, Caleb, do whatever you got to do. Jesse Goddard's also didn't make jury, so I'm just saying.
Twice. My segment is called Y'all Want Some Cake?
Anybody want cake?
And we're going to be talking about the most awkward moment that happened within these last 2 episodes, and I think it's pretty obvious. Whenever Zach just started attacking Frankie Grande. Frankie's already in an unstable state of mind. He has no idea what his HOH is going to be. He doesn't know anybody in the house. He doesn't trust anybody. Trust it out the window. He's in a sensitive state. Zach is unemployed. He just graduated. He golfs, according to his life story. But, they find out that they're both from Florida. And then Frankie says to Zach a specific part of Florida that he's from. Zach then replies, "Oh, I know exactly what the type of people that are from that area," in such a demeaning type of tone and voice. And Frankie's heart just cracks a little bit on the inside. And then, you know, the little crazy that gets in people's eyes? That also happened to Frankie. It's just like the switch has definitely been flipped. Frankie immediately runs to his confessional and starts crying that he's been attacked from Zach and gives Zach some advice, not to his face, but to the confessional, saying, hey, Zach, maybe not piss off the HOH week one. Maybe try that as a strategy because you're coming after me for like no reason at all. And Zach really is. I think it's absolutely hilarious. I think Zach is the type of person that you don't want to live with, that you want to be nominated to, but if he uses that to his advantage, that could also be the reason why he gets kept every single week. So he needs to be a sore, but he doesn't need to be something that's like threatening where they just cut off the limb altogether. Just something that's very, very pestering and annoying, but tolerable to live with. And I think Zach could play his cards right, but that was an absolutely awkward conversation, especially going into a house where somebody's already crowned HOH. Nobody's safe in Zach's world, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to visit him a lot while he's in the house in this segment. He's going to be it's going to be his birthday, and he's going to be serving up a lot of cake.
Not to mention that Hayden was just, like, sitting there, like...
I feel like Hayden was everyone watching. Like, he accurately
what's going on?
I would really like to see Zach get himself out of a situation, like a dangerous situation in this game. I want to see how he handles that. Right now, Zach's biggest enemy is his mouth. He basically talked himself on the block. I would be very shocked if Zach does not get nominated on Sunday. Unless something big happens. I don't know. I think Frankie is just too fragile right now, and
he needed somebody to want to be on the block. He needed someone to help
make that decision for him. Yeah, because he's not going to make it for himself.
He's definitely not. He's like aligned with everybody. So,
and yeah, you said that his mouth is his biggest for Zach. That his mouth is his biggest enemy. And when we were doing the Meet the Cast, they showed a picture of him with a black eye because he told somebody something that he probably shouldn't have. So he makes mistakes and doesn't learn from it. And you know what? In a game like Big Brother, you have to learn from your mistakes. So, Zach, your time in the house is pretty much limited at best.
How'd that happen? Do you think he was just like, yeah, you can put that picture of my black eye up on screen?
I mean, he's unemployed. He has nothing to lose.
Can we use this picture?
He probably got someone out at the casting to punch him in the face before he went to audition so he could use it as a story.
I also have one other thing just about my personal life. How did I pick Caleb and Zach to be in the final two? If that's the final two, this is going to be the best season ever because they're a hot mess.
That is a final two I would love to see.
The only way that would happen is if they literally teamed up with each other and they just, like, mowed down everybody. They had to mow down every single person.
I really like I want Devin and Caleb to have an alliance. I tweeted that they should have an alliance called Axe Body Spray. And I think... they could go to the distance. Just spray it on up and go win them competitions. So since we kind of talked about it, let's go ahead and just go into it. What are the predictions of the 4 nominees for you guys? Like, who are the 4 people you think are going up on the block? Not necessarily who's nominating who, just 4 people you think are going to be in the hot seat at the end of Sunday.
Part of me is wondering how it's going to work. Like, does Frankie make his nominations first? Then
That's a good question, because what if there are similar interests in nominees?
Exactly.
I mean, they're not going to be able to do that, but I mean, maybe they'll force to talk to each other.
Is it just going to be one nomination ceremony, or is it going to be one immediately back-to-back, or is it a 24-hour period in between for people to, like, think about stuff? So that's a lot of things to keep into consideration as well. But I definitely see Zach on the block. I mean, it's just easy. If you're house enemy number 1, then it's easy to go up. Donnie, I also could see being on the block. Also Jocasta, I could see being on the block. And to round it out, just because she has a memorable presence, I would say Pow Pow. So I would say those 4 are in the most danger for being in the house, for either being an outcast or for just being memorable.
I could see Zach and Pow Pow on the block together because I know we didn't specify like who, but I think a smart move for Frankie would, if he wants to get Zach out, you put Zach up and you also put someone that you know isn't going to be that good in competitions because the ultimate goal is to have them not win Battle of the Blocks. And so I could see him putting out Pow Pow just because we showed a little bit of concern that he had for her at the beginning. And I don't know, I could definitely see him wanting to put them up. As far as the other two, I'm not sure.
Bless you.
Me.
I think that...
I agree we could see Jocasta go up. Maybe Donnie. I mean, Donnie's an easy choice for a nom, or maybe Nicole. I don't know. I would say Zach and Papa are for sure. The other two is where I get a little.
I honestly do. I can't see Frankie nominating anyone from the Crazy Eights week 1. If he nominates Pow Pow week 1, then that shit is gonna turn so south. He's gonna have to respond to every single other person in the Crazy Eights on why he already betrayed somebody within it.
That's a great point.
I'm pretty sure that if Caleb's smart, he'll nominate 2 people from the original 8. That's what Caleb needs to do.
I have my
okay.
I've got some specifics. All right, so for Frankie, I expect him, like you said, I don't think he's going to nominate anybody from the Crazy Eights, because if he did, he'd have to respond to them. Everybody would blurt out how he portrayed that alliance, then he's going to be screwed over from any alliance, not just that. So I see him nominating Zach, obviously, and then I feel like he'd have to pick somebody from the replacements, and from them, I can see him nominating like Hayden, somebody like Hayden, just for Hayden doesn't seem that big of a threat, and like Zach would be the bigger of the ones that you want to get rid of. And then for Caleb, I feel like his thought process would be, I'm just gonna do whatever. Like, I'm not afraid of anybody, so I'm not gonna put up a Derek. I'm not gonna put up a Devin, because I'm not afraid of them. Like, bring it on, bring the competition on. So I see him nominating some like Victoria, Jocasta, like people who he just doesn't have anything in common with, type of deal.
I do agree. I think that if Caleb were to make nominations, it would go strictly off of competitions and who's performing the worst, because he's at the top of the pack, and it would be smart for him to get rid of the people that are not in line with the people that also do well in competitions.
You guys brought up a good point about the Crazy Eights and Frankie. You're right. I don't think if Frankie puts up Pow Pow, especially someone that has a mouth like Pow Pow, he is blowing up his game. Yeah, no. So, but maybe we could see a Pow Pow nomination over on Caleb. I don't know. It depends.
I feel like they might have bonded a little, though.
That's true. I mean, she's obviously after him, but I don't think he was smart enough to catch on that she's she's fishing for all this information on him, and he's just like, he's throwing it out there.
I can see through people. I can just see through them. She's like, I know, sure.
Okay, so basically, just to round out the premiere episode, is there anyone that you really did a kind of a 180 on? Like, anyone that you didn't like and that pleasantly surprised you, or that someone you had high hopes for and just completely disappointed you?
For me, it's obviously Devin. Like, I already talked about it, but like, I'm like a pretty big fan of Devin. I think he's pretty interesting. He reminds me of some people back in Texas too. Like, he reminds me of my brother-in-law and the people that he hung out with. So I don't know. It's just really cool to see somebody who was recruited, didn't even like apply for Big Brother, but is playing the game pretty well so far. But I am excited to see if like he makes too many deals and gets caught. So I'll be looking out for that. But Devin is someone that I had no expectations for. Thought that it was going to be another like pointless house guest with nothing to offer, but he's offering some strategy, which I greatly appreciate.
What about you, Erine?
For me, it'd be Pow Pow. She was, I'm pretty sure she was like one of the first people that I picked on my team. Like, I was
she
really
was number one, yeah.
She was like really like gonna be fun and all this stuff. But it's kind of turning too abrasive. Like, I'm very worried about how long she can really last in the game with the way that she's been acting and things that she's been saying. So if y'all want to trade somebody for Pow,
he's already working Team Lady to try and get that.
I know. I will give.
Okay. All right. So I have 2 people that really that pleasantly surprised me from the premiere. You guys just gotta bear with me. All right. So first, I talked a little bit. I'm a pretty big fan of Amber. I think she's very under the radar. I love that she was able to recognize the fact that there was too many unknowns to the HOH and decided to throw it. Yes, she could have done it more gracefully, but she's a recruit. Like points for trying. Points for trying for Amber. So I'm really interested to see how she reacts. My fear is that she already expressed loyalty to El Cuatro, so I'm really scared that it's going to hurt her from wanting to socialize with other people on the other side of the house, or if she's going to try and stay on this sinking ship. That we'll have to see. The second person that I really enjoyed from the second group, I like Hayden a lot. I think, like, they painted him as, like, this surfer dude, and, like, I feel like in his diary room he added, like, oh, here's where I say the surfer thing or the funny thing, but that's not actually who I am. He seems super, super chill, someone that's going to get along with a lot of people. I think he's going to have, I would say he's going to have one of the best social games in the house. I love his interaction during the Frankie and Zach thing. I thought he handled that perfectly, and it was really fun to watch. I'm so glad he didn't win HOH. Like, he wanted to win, and I was like, no, Hayden, don't do this. You don't need this. Like, he has the potential of playing a very under-the-radar game, which when there are 4 people going up every week, I think is the go-to strategy. So I think Hayden, for the most part, was one person that I just could not have cared less during the cast assessment, and is now probably one of my top 3 favorite players.
Also, someone that didn't necessarily surprise me, but filled expectations. Like, and these expectations were high, was Brittany. And even though she was invisible this episode, I really, really enjoy whenever she's in the confessionals, whenever I hear her perspective, whenever I see her interacting with other house guests. I'm just really, really intrigued. So hopefully she'll be more dynamic in the future. Hopefully win some competitions and make some important decisions, because I feel like she'll make some good calls. But yeah, I really like Brittany. I think she was a really solid, like, first overall pick for any of our teams.
What's her occupation?
She is
She's a single mother.
I know she's a mom.
She popped out 3.
Popped out 3.
She's a dream ruiner, or Cody's dream ruiner.
Yes. I was just interested to see what her occupation was.
I forgot.
But yeah, she seemed. I love when I forgot what she said exactly, but it was something about the crazy eights, like those people already getting a chance to bond and how hard it was going to be. Like, so I think she's super insightful. It's just going to be a matter of, like, how she, I think, interacts with everyone, what her strategy is going to be, and how she implements it. But yeah, I'm very excited for her.
Yeah, I'm also interested to see how she interacts, because it seems like she's awkward in social settings. I think she's used to being interacted with and not necessarily engaging in the interaction. So, like, I think it might be different for her to actually go up to somebody and start a conversation. I find it nerve-wracking that she's bonding with Derek in the hallway.
But I mean, we don't. They both didn't really get a lot of airtime, so we don't know. We don't know what they're doing. We don't know their lives.
Do you think nominations have already been made?
Probably. I don't want to be spoiled. I probably won't look at the nominations.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, because we like y'all said earlier, we don't know how they're going to do it. If they're going to do one nomination, then wait a little bit, do another nomination, because that's a lot of stuff to go down.
Yeah. Because they have to do Battle of the Blocks and
HOH
nominations and
Battle of the Blocks. Like, that's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
They ain't got time to sleep.
I think it would be better if they did nominations at the same time, because then it would be too unfair for the first HOH. Because in the second HOH knows exactly who is going to be competing in the Battle of the Blocks. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
They'd have to coordinate it somehow.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm really excited. It's going to be a really good season. I think we've got an interesting group of house guests, and yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty interesting first week. Yep. Any final thoughts, guys?
It's in Victoria Home. I don't really care for her.
Like, cookie cutter bitch edit.
You can take your pink dress on to the pre-jury.
All right. Well, thank you so much for watching.
What?
You're just like laying. So thanks for watching the premiere episode of Big Brother Basics for Big Brother 16. We're really excited to kind of dissect the season as it goes on, and definitely stay tuned for our next episode.
Woo!
Stay basic.
Bye, pumpkins.
Stay basic.
Stay basic.